Heya Cryptozens, welcome back to the Crypto Overnighter. My name is Nikodemus and we do crypto news analysis nightly at 10 p.m. And keep in mind, none of this should be considered financial advice. And it's Tuesday, February 14th, 2023. And for much of the Western world, today is St. Valentine's Day. But to be honest, I was not feeling the love from Capitol Hill today, that's for sure. And that's because the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission may be proposing some new rules this week. And these new rules could change the services that crypto companies can provide to clients. Now, Bloomberg reported today that the SEC is creating a draft proposal. This proposal could make it challenging for crypto firms to hold clients' digital assets as, quote, qualified custodians. The report cited anonymous sources. But if this proposal becomes a rule, it could affect hedge funds, private equity firms, and pension funds. These firms often partner with crypto companies. Now, anonymous sources claim that a 5-member SEC panel will vote tomorrow, February 15th. This vote will decide if the proposal advances to the next stage. For the proposal to move forward, at least 3 members of the panel must vote in favor. Then, the rest of the SEC will vote on it officially. If approved, the proposal will undergo modifications as needed based on feedback. The SEC has been discussing what is necessary to be a qualified custodian for cryptocurrencies since March of 2019. Now, at present, it's unclear what specific changes the SEC is looking for. Now, Bloomberg suggested that if this proposal becomes a rule, some crypto companies may need to relocate their clients' digital assets. Bloomberg's report stated that these firms could face surprise audits related to their custodial relationships. There may be other consequences as well. Reuters reported on January 26th that the SEC would target Wall Street investment advisors. This would be due to how they provide crypto custody to their clients. Now, this proposal goes right along with that. Now, of course, lately, the SEC's been dealing with Paxos. They believe that the issuer of the Binance USD stablecoin has released an unregistered security. Now, Paxos, of course, they said that they're willing to litigate if needed. Meanwhile, it's expected that Joe Biden will choose Lael Brainerd as his main economic advisor. Now, speaking plainly, Brainerd is against cryptocurrencies. She thinks they could harm America's financial stability. However, she supports a digital dollar that would be controlled by the government, so you can see where her banker brain is at. Now, Brainerd used to work at the White House as a deputy director of the National Economic Council during Bill Clinton's presidency. Barack Obama nominated her as a Fed governor in 2014. Brainerd doesn't like crypto. She thinks that if banks invest in crypto, it could cause problems in the monetary system. She also believes that a crash in the digital asset market could affect the financial sector. And Brainerd is worried about DeFi. She thinks that it could encourage illegal activities. Brainerd said that the technology allows for the exchange of assets without permission, and that obscures the source of funds. She says this can lead to tax evasion and increase the risk of theft, hacks, and ransom attacks. On the other hand, Brainerd likes the idea of a digital dollar. She said that they were researching and experimenting with distributed ledger technologies, though that was almost 3 years ago. Now, they were trying to understand how a central bank digital currency could be used, and they were also working with other central banks. Brainerd repeated her idea a few months ago. She said that a digital dollar could protect consumers and create monetary stability. She thinks that the U.S. should take the lead in creating standards for international digital finance transactions involving central bank digital currencies. These standards should include norms of privacy, accessibility, interoperability, and security. Now, Brainerd leaving for the White House creates a vacancy at the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve has started a campaign to fight inflation by raising interest rates. Some cryptocurrency enthusiasts think that the market could go into a bull run once the central bank changes its strategy. I am not holding my breath. I say that because Chairman Powell said that they would cease rate hikes once inflation drops to 2%. I just don't see that happening this year. Lawmakers and witnesses criticized the United States SEC and Chair Gensler. This was during a hearing about the crash of the crypto market. So what happened is, The Senate Banking Committee held a hearing called Crypto Crash: Why Financial System Safeguards Are Needed for Digital Assets. Tim Scott is the ranking member, and he criticized Gary Gensler and said that he should testify before Congress by September. He accused Gensler of going on morning talk shows instead of testifying. Scott thinks that the SEC has not given enough guidance, which could lead to investors not being protected. He gave examples of bankrupt firms like FTX, Terra, BlockFi, Voyager, Celsius. The litany of failed firms goes on. And Scott thinks that the SEC has not done enough to prevent another crypto market crash. He wonders if the SEC had the tools to prevent it but didn't use them. He said Gensler should testify sooner rather than later. Now, witnesses proposed different ways to regulate crypto during the hearing. Lee Reiners of Duke University suggested that Congress should create new laws to classify crypto as a security under the SEC's jurisdiction. Now, this goes against a lot of prevailing wisdom that would see crypto classified as a commodity under the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. Linda Zhang is General Counsel and Chief Global Regulator Officer at the Crypto Council for Innovation. She testified that the lack of a clear federal regulatory framework for crypto caused investors to be unprotected and made companies uncertain. The SEC hasn't made any new rules to update old securities laws that are decades old for digital assets that are considered securities. Yesha Yadav is a Vanderbilt University law professor, and she agreed with Zhang on the need for a federal framework for crypto, but she also suggested that exchanges should have a self-regulatory system in addition to public regulation. Firms that don't follow the rules would need to pay financial penalties. And that's kind of the system that they have in Japan, where self-regulatory organizations do a lot of the administrative and rulemaking type work. Now, that's actually been a problem, as the SROs were moving too slowly and too conservatively to keep up with the markets. It was just taking too long for coins to be approved for sale. The lawsuit between Sam Bankman-Fried and the SEC is on hold. A judge made this decision on February 13th, and it will stay on hold until related charges by the DOJ are resolved. The DOJ asked to pause Bankman-Fried's case to save time and resources. Now, the reason for this delay is that they believe the case will affect civil cases. Now, their argument is the same things that will be found in discovery for the civil case will also be found in the criminal cases, so they may as well do it all at once, save time, save costs, instead of having three separate efforts. The U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission delayed its civil case against Bankman-Fried until after the criminal trial. This happened on Tuesday. Prosecutors in the criminal case against Bankman-Fried want more time to consider the legal implications of his use of a VPN. U.S. Attorney Damian Williams filed a document on February 13th. This document was filed with the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York. So it looks like Sam used the internet through a VPN on January 29th and February 12th. Now, Williams stated that using a VPN raises potential concerns. These include accessing international crypto exchanges and hiding website data. And so their concern is a lack of insight into what Sam was doing. The document stated that a VPN allows data transfers through a secure, encrypted connection. That's pretty much right. The defense claims that Bankman-Fried wasn't using a VPN for any improper purpose. They want to talk to the government about it. That's the trick about a VPN, though. It really is hard to know for sure what the person was doing. In fact, that's one of the selling points of using a VPN. Mark Cohen is from the law firm Cohen & Gresser, and he represents SBF in the criminal case. According to him, Bankman-Fried used the VPN to watch sports coverage. I guess he just really wanted to watch the Super Bowl, because I don't know why he needed a VPN to watch the Super Bowl. It was being broadcast to a TV near him. That said, Cohen stated that Bankman-Fried won't use a VPN until lawyers resolve the issue. Now, Cohen wrote that Bankman-Fried watched the AFC and the NFC championship games on January 29th, and that he also watched the Super Bowl on February 12th. Cohen added that using a VPN wasn't an issue. He said that the concerns raised by the government just don't apply. Now, this court document said that Sam's legal team is discussing his use of the VPN. It may become a condition of his bail, and Sam's predilection towards secrecy is known. This kind of thing has come up before. Prosecutors asked the court to restrict his use of certain messaging apps because of their privacy measures. They also want him to avoid contact with FTX and Alameda Research employees. All right, enough about American regulators. The Financial Conduct Authority in the UK says that crypto ATMs are illegal, and they are enforcing the previous announcement that any crypto ATMs operating in the country are breaking the law. The financial watchdog is working with the West Yorkshire Police to address crypto ATMs in Leeds. The cyber team of the police in West Yorkshire has found several live crypto ATMs in the city. It is unclear how many or where they are located. Coin ATM Radar reports that there are 27 Bitcoin ATMs in the entire UK. They are the source of our data for this report. Detective Sergeant Lindsay Brantz of West Yorkshire Police said that warning letters were sent. These letters requested the operators to stop using the machines. They also said that any violation of regulations would result in an investigation under money laundering regulations. To comply with anti-money laundering and counterterrorism financing, any company offering crypto-related services in the UK needs to register with the FCA. This is a requirement. And yet, the FCA has cautioned that no crypto asset businesses registered with them are authorized to offer ATM services. That means any crypto ATM operating in the country are not doing so legally. Meanwhile, the UK Tax Reform Council opposes the Bank of England's plan for a digital currency. They think it could hurt privacy and change how taxes work. The nonprofit group launched a campaign to voice their concerns. John Chown is a monetary economist on the advisory board of the new Tax Reform Council, and the council thinks that a digital currency would mean more government surveillance. They also believe that tax authorities could become more intrusive and cyber attacks could increase. The think tank and UK Bitcoin community have the same worries about central bank digital currencies. They say that digital fiat gives the government and the central bank more control over money. Jordan Walker, who co-founded the UK's Bitcoin Collective, thinks introducing CBDCs in the UK is dangerous. According to Walker, they make the monetary system more closely linked to politics. This connection has led to problems in the past and present. Walker believes that money and politics should be kept separate. Economists on the advisory board have concerns about a digital pound. The group wants the people to know that CBDCs could mean more government surveillance. Now, digital fiat promises financial inclusion. It promises cost savings. It promises more security. But Bitcoin offers the same benefits and more. For example, El Salvador banked more of its population after introducing the Bitcoin law. The UK Treasury and the Bank of England are hiring for jobs related to the so-called Britcoin. The Bank of England thinks it's necessary to make a digital British pound, but some in the wider crypto community disagree. The Tax Reform Council says a CBDC would record every transaction on the Bank of England's private blockchain ledger. This means that the taxman could see people's financial history. And this isn't theory. This is already happening in other countries. In China, for example, this is happening with the renminbi CBDC. Now, Jordan Walker is worried. He thinks the rollout of a central bank digital currency is even closer than most people realize. Walker believes that people in the UK could unwittingly be pulled into a digital monetary system. He thinks that there needs to be more education about this topic. Siemens claims that blockchain-based bonds remove the need for banks and intermediaries. This means bonds can be issued directly to investors without the need for third parties. And, as you might have guessed, this process is made possible by using blockchain technology. Siemens believes that this approach offers greater efficiency and lower costs for both issuers and investors. Siemens is Europe's largest industrial manufacturer. They recently launched a €60 million digital bond on a blockchain. They claim that a blockchain-based digital bond has many benefits, such as enabling direct sales to investors without intermediaries. The bond was launched in compliance with Germany's Electronics Securities Act, and it has a maturity period of 1 year. Siemens claims that issuing the bond on a blockchain has several advantages. These advantages include eliminating paper-based global certificates and central clearing. In addition, the blockchain-based bond allows the company to sell it directly to investors without an intermediary bank. Ralph P. Thomas, the CFO of Siemens, says that the company's success in supporting its customers' digital transformation makes it logical to test and use the latest digital solutions in finance. Thomas stated in a press conference that they are proud to be one of the first German companies to successfully issue a blockchain-based bond. And that's going to do it for us tonight. I want to thank you, my listeners, because when you stop listening, I will stop talking. If you enjoyed tonight's show, please like, follow, subscribe. In the meantime, we'll see you tomorrow night.